How much sugar per day is recommended? According to the World Health Organization, it is recommended to consume 25 grams of sugar a day. But in general, our diet has much more sugar than that. Sugar is a product that the food industry uses across the board. How much is 25 grams of sugar? The amount of sugar that the WHO recommends consuming daily is very small. To give you an idea, a full tablespoon of sugar can contain up to 25 grams. Or, in another equivalence, 25 grams of sugar is about 6 tablespoons of coffee. So in that one spoon, you should have all the sugar for your day. Tip number 1, better fruit than juice. The sugar in fruit is not harmful. It's the so-called free sugars or added sugars that must be taken with caution. And as it turns out, we're making the sugar of the fruit metabolize as free sugars when we squeeze the fruit and drink its juice. In addition, we consume more sugar that way because, generally, the juice is made from several pieces of fruit. It is healthier to eat one piece at a time. Tip number 2, careful with your breakfast. It depends on the country, but there are places in the world where breakfast is the great feast of the sweet tooth. Cereals, jams, chocolates. Be careful. Sweeten your coffee or tea moderately. Eat unsweetened yogurt and bet on healthy salty foods, vegetables, eggs, etc. Remember, one sugar cube contains between 5 and 7 grams of sugar. Tip number 3, watch out with the sauces. The healthiest thing would be to make our own sauces. It is very common for ketchup brands, for example, to introduce a large amount of sugar to their tomato sauce just to improve the flavor. That's because tomatoes tend to have a certain acidity. Tip number 4, watch out for frozen pizzas. Many pre-cooked foods have high sugar content, even if they're salty foods. For example, this is the case with frozen pizzas. They're usually prepared with a lot of sugar. Obviously, the food industry is adapting to new times and trying to reduce sugar, so look at the label carefully and decide. But again, it would be best if we made our own pizza without added sugar. Tip number 5, keep an eye on drinks that replace milk. If you consume soy or almond drinks instead of milk, don't expect them to be sugar-free drinks. In almond milk, for example, there could be up to 20 grams of added sugar in a glass. Tip number 6, energy drinks. Red alert. If the usual soft drink already has a serious problem with sugar, despite attempts to make it diet or zero, the energy drink is a full-on disaster. The sum of caffeine and high doses of sugar is the perfect stimulant for our brain, so an average energy drink can contain up to 52 grams of sugar. Tip number 7, watch out for salad dressing. Balsamic vinegar contains sugar, not in an excessive amount, but be aware that sugar is also used to sweeten its flavor. Tip number 8, check the composition of salty biscuits. They're salty cookies, but they contain a lot of sugar. Appearance is deceiving. Tip number 9, all sweeteners are sugars. Honey is very healthy and delicious, but 85% of its composition is sugar. The same thing goes for syrup and other sweeteners. Tip number 10, take a good look at the labeling. We have to take time and read the labels of the food we buy. And we also need to know the sugar synonyms that some brands use. If food contains much fructose, sucrose, lactose, glucose, or starch, be careful with it. Tip number 11, avoid industrial sweets. They are a real temptation, but industrial sweets have so much sugar that they can only be consumed as a whim that we afford from time to time. Tip number 12, caution with ice cream. Ice cream is a delight that many cannot deny themselves, but a regular ice cream contains at least 21 grams of sugar when only a maximum of 25 grams a day is recommended. However, no one is perfect, and some ice cream from time to time will not kill us. Tip number 13, don't get confused by yogurts. Low-fat yogurt tends to have a higher sugar content because the fat is replaced by sugar in order to preserve its texture and taste. Be careful when choosing your yogurt. Tip number 14, the darker the chocolate, the better. Consuming chocolate in large quantities can lead to other problems, but as far as sugar is concerned, it's best to eat it as dark as possible. A 70% dark chocolate bar usually contains about 5 grams of sugar. This is acceptable as long as you haven't eaten too many sugary foods for the rest of the day. Tip number 15, teriyaki is synonymous with sugar. Teriyaki sauce has a very high sugar content. It is delicious, but you have to be careful with the quantity. Tip number 16, eat fruit as a sweet dessert. Fruit is the best dessert. Sweets are best left for special occasions. Tip number 17, eat traditional bread. Sugar was traditionally not used in the production of European bread, but the industrial processing of this food and the eagerness to give it an attractive taste or crunchy texture has caused producers to add significant amounts of sugar to it. The best thing is to go to a traditional bakery where they make their own product the old-fashioned way. Sugar only in its right measure. In short, we have to take less sugar. Health comes first. On the other hand, life is about happiness and sometimes breaking the rules. With that, a little bit of candy, just a little, we should be fine as long as we keep an eye on our diet.